Hello, in this video I'm going to show how to test a 120 volt outlet in the United States. This is a disclaimer that I'm not an electrician and I'm just showing you how I'm going to test my outlet. This deals with 120 volts, which can be dangerous. It could shock you or even kill you. So if you try this, you're trying it at your own risk. And before you attempt to test your own outlet, make sure you know how to be safe around electricity. This is the schematic for an outlet tester. There are more complex outlet testers, but this is the simplest version. It consists of a resistor and a light. The light is either a neon bulb or an LED light, and there's 3 sets of these lights, which measures the voltage between ground and neutral, hot and neutral, and hot and ground. And what I want to show in this video is how you can make these measurements with a multimeter. And I'm also going to show how you can make the measurements with a neon voltage test probe. And to make these measurements, you measure the voltage between 1 for ground and neutral, 2 between hot and neutral, and 3 between hot and ground. And then using this chart, if for 1 you get 0 volts and 2 you get 120 volts, which is indicated by this X, and 3 you get 120 volts, which is indicated by this X, then the wiring is okay. If not, you go by this chart. It could be open ground, open neutral, open hot, reverse hot ground, or reverse hot neutral. And one thing to keep in mind about these simple outlet testers is they can't test for every possible condition that could be wrong with an outlet. So even if an outlet tester says that the wiring is okay, it's only testing these wiring conditions. An example of some conditions that a simple outlet tester can't test for is a reverse neutral ground. It also can't test for a bootleg ground. That's when there is no ground, but somebody inside the outlet connected the neutral to the ground, so it looks like there's a ground when there's not. And there's also other conditions that a simple outlet tester can't test for. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. I'm only going to show how to test a 120 volt outlet in the United States, and I'm going to show how to test the outlet using both a multimeter and a neon voltage test probe like this. And this is an old neon voltage test probe, so you probably can't get this exact one anymore, but I've seen these on Amazon for around $7. But you can get a multimeter for around $10, so I would get a multimeter instead of one of these, unless you can get one of these for around $1 or less. And don't get the neon voltage test probe confused with a neon voltage test screwdriver, because those work differently. Almost any multimeter should work as long as it has an AC voltage range of 120 volts or higher. This one has a 200 range and a 700 range. And you put the black probe in the COM port and the red probe in the voltage port. I put the black probe into the ground or the COM port and the red probe into the voltage port. I set the meter to AC volts. I'm putting this on 200 range. Anything above 120 is fine. I could also put it on 700 if I want. I'm going to read the voltage from the ground to the neutral first, and that's reading about 0. Now I'm going to read the voltage from the hot to the neutral. That's reading 122.2. Now I'm going to read from the ground to the hot. That's reading 122.2. 0.2. So those readings indicate that the outlet is wired correctly. Now I'm going to test with the neon voltage probe. I'm going to test from the ground to the neutral first. And that's not lighting up. Now I'm going to test from the hot to the neutral. And you can see that's lighting up. Now I'm going to test from the ground to the hot, and you can see that's lighting up. So that indicates that the outlet is wired correctly.